Hi guys, what are you saying? I hope you're good. I'm back with another one, and today I'm gonna do a video that was like really requested by you guys. Like I've been getting so many like messages and like DMs on Insta. Obviously expectedly so. I've made a lot of videos about speaking about how I got into medicine with like such bad credentials because of my good interview and all. So I wasn't really that surprised. So yeah, I'm finally making like an interview video. I just wanted to put a disclaimer at the beginning. I was gonna make this video a couple months back. Like, I was gonna make this like in January. I actually filmed a couple like MMI station interviews and stuff, but after speaking to some of the like new candidates and stuff that would like people just messaged me that are like applying this year for Kings, they told me like it's a panel interview, like it's not MMI, and like they're changing it quite a bit obviously because it's online, right? And it kind of made me think like, oh, like I haven't really done panel, and kind of my best thing, I only like to talk about things that I'm knowledgeable on. Do you know what I mean? Even though I've been to interviews and I've done well and I've taught a lot of people, I've even taught some people that like did a panel and they got in, right? But I always told them like, make sure you have someone else helping with your specific style of interview, right? Because I can't just be like big headed enough to think, okay, I was good at this, I'm good at everything. Do you know what I mean? The little nuanced things that people will be asking me to tell them because like I'm a medical student, I couldn't tell you about the panel because I haven't done that. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of started having second thoughts, like should I even make a video, because I didn't want to like mislead people and like tell them, okay, prepare for this station, and then none of that comes up, because obviously some stations are hard to do like virtually, right? And I messaged a lot of people that went to like different universities, which I've helped get into medicine, and they were telling me like, oh yeah, so this year at my uni is different as well. It might still be MMI, but they're taking out this and that. So I was just thinking, yeah, like I didn't want to make the detailed like MMI guide kind of videos because they might not be applicable to this year, but for next season, next application cycle, definitely gonna make that, because yeah, that's my expertise. But nonetheless, so I just thought, even though I'm not gonna do like, I didn't want to give any general advice, right? Like general, or like, yeah, be confident, be yourself, don't lie. I didn't want to do any of them videos, man. There's enough of them videos on the web, like what's the point? So I thought, what's a way I can say like give some sort of that tangible value where you can actually apply this on a general aspect that can probably help most people without sounding broad. So I've made some bullet points, and they're the things that I'm gonna help with. I feel like the main thing, the most important thing in the whole interview, regardless of like if it's online or whatever, or face to face, I feel like confidence is the number one thing. And a lot of people say confidence can't be taught, but I think it can, and I think I've taught a lot of people to be confident. Maybe not confident in life, but confident for the 45 minutes you need to get into medical school, and after that you can just go back to being yourself, you know what I mean? But yeah, so yeah, number one, I'd say the most important thing is confidence. And as I said, confidence can be taught, yeah. So like you have to think backwards, right? So someone that gives a confident answer, where's this confidence stemming from? And I believe where it stems from is the belief in your answer. Like, you know you're correct, so like why wouldn't you be confident? Like, you know you're correct, right? So what I usually do, because like these interviews, it's not an exam, right? Like there is no right and wrong answer. They are generally, apart from like maybe the little off question that's like a factual question and stuff, yeah. But usually most of the interviews about like for Kings especially, like EMDP and like Kings, the interview's probably the same. But for Kings especially, the interview is really about like a lot of questions about you, yourself, and how they ask your opinion on things, right? So if it's an opinion, it can't be right or wrong. However, there's some more correct than others. So for you to give a confident answer, you need to know that you're right, and that like the opinion you're showing is the one they want to see, right? That you're the right kind of person for them. So what I did, the questions I'm talking about, for example, are like, oh, why do you want to do medicine? Tell me about your work experience. Tell me the good qualities of a doctor. Tell me when you've portrayed one of these qualities. So for example, like, let's just say the main qualities: communication, teamwork, leadership, those kind of qualities. Like, they would basically ask you like, what are the good qualities of a doctor, and when you've shown them. And obviously this is just we're all different, right? Everyone's got different qualities, everyone's got different times they show them or haven't shown them, right? But what I like to do, just to make sure I'm putting my best foot forward and I'm giving them the best example I can, I'm probably going to put like a graphic on the screen or like just a screenshot of me doing this. Yeah, so what I was writing mine, this is how I wrote my lists. Just started with work experience at the top. I wrote out all these work experience I did.
Obviously, I can't lie, I've written them in brief because it's been 6-7 years. I can't really remember what I did there. But yes, I worked at a dementia clinic for a week. I worked at Hendon Memory Clinic for 2 weeks. I worked at UCLH Hospital. I observed surgeries for a week. And it's important to write all these things and exactly what you did there. Maybe a line under like exactly what you did there and stuff, or the key things you did there, and also the time frame to like let them know specifically what impact you had there. And it's important on this list of things you write for like work experience. Literally you need to write everything here, like work experience, your volunteering. Write down what are the good qualities of a doctor, and then write out each quality of a doctor, and then show what you've done to show that. But you need to write absolutely everything, because this is how I looked at it. Every single thing I've done in my life to get into medicine at this point, if I hadn't written it on this paper and I hadn't been ready to say in an interview, and I would have missed something out and not said it, it's like I've done it for no reason. Like, what's the point of me doing this work experience and watching these surgeries if these guys don't know I've done that? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Obviously there's a personal gain, but like at the end of the day I do want to get in. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So cool, that's what you do for work experience. Qualities of a doctor, so I just went with some of the easy ones. Teamwork, so the things I did: football, NASA, Duke of Edinburgh, bronze. And then when you go to leadership, I've done something like, as you can see, the last three are the same, except for like obviously football captain instead of football team, because I was the captain. But you are allowed to like cross over, because these things do show leadership and teamwork. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But yeah, the extra things I've added were school council and prefect. But yeah, so this is literally the format, and I'll just continue and write like communication, and I'll do a breakdown of when I showed good communication and stuff, and I'll do this for every single thing and look over this a couple of times. It doesn't take that long, probably take you about 20 minutes, half an hour. Just look over this and just really know where I'm getting my examples from my interview answers, just so I can be, as I said, like, just takes one decision away where I don't have to think about what I'm going to talk about. I'm already into it.
I write like a list of things I do. So for example, I would have just like listed out, okay, my work experiences. I would list them out like specifically, like I went to this hospital for this amount of time and I did this. I volunteered here and I did this. So I'll list out my work experiences. Then I'll be like, qualities of a doctor. I'll list all of them out on paper, and I'll just write. So I've listed out all of the good qualities of a doctor, right, on a paper, and then I'll write what I've shown these in it. And for example, like something like leadership and teamwork, they're kind of interchangeable, like, because even the leader of a task still needs to have good teamwork. Yeah, that's a good one to say. But yeah, do you know what I'm trying to say? So like I'll write out. So for example, for me, like leadership, teamwork, as I said, I'll put this on a graphic. I played football. I took part in like a NASA competition at school. I did Duke of Edinburgh bronze. I was on school council. I was like, we had like a year council where like they picked the top people from school council. I was on that. I was a prefect at school. Just those kind of like basic things. Like you just list them out. So now, the point of like doing this and like listing all this stuff out is when they ask you a question, you need to put the best answer. So for example, if they ask you something about like, when have you been a leader? If I went to the interview like not knowing what I was gonna kind of say, if I wasn't in there like with a loaded answer kind of thing, and by loaded answer I just mean like not writing out your answer or memorizing it and saying it back to them, because that's very scripted. Like I will not advise you to do that unless you're a great actor. If you're a great actor, you might as well do that. That's probably gonna be good. But if you're not a great actor, they'll see through you. Do you know what I mean? So by a loaded answer, I just mean like a bullet point. For example, let me just go through, for example, teamwork. I could, if I just went in there, and they asked me about when's the time you showed good teamwork, I would just start talking about football. But here's the thing, like school football, I didn't actually achieve anything. Like we just played a couple games, we weren't that good. I was the captain. I didn't really lead the team to any great achievements. So what am I going to talk about? I'm just going to talk about like, yeah, I play football. That shows that I have hobbies outside of medicine. Yeah, that's cool, but like that's not even a bad answer. But for me personally, that's not the best answer. But because I sat down at home and I wrote down these points, I looked, okay, so football, what did I do in football? Nothing really. Duke of Edinburgh, that's really good. It shows I've got an award and stuff. I could speak about that. But other people might have done Duke of Edinburgh too, right? So like what I came to, when I wrote down everything I did, something I did quite a while back, like I think it was in like first year of college, and obviously when I was applying, like 2 years had passed, so I couldn't even remember I did this until I wrote it down. And that's even the point, you write this stuff down so you remember you did it, right? So I just saw that I did like a NASA competition. So at school, we had to make like a NASA space settlement. Like in 24 hours, me and the team, we had to like design a space settlement, and we had to collaborate a lot. This isn't even medical based. You know what I mean, this is like broader things. But yeah, so so that's probably the thing that I would pick, because I know a lot of people haven't done that. It's different, it's interesting, something that will stick in the interviewer's mind. It was very time pressured, 24 hours to build a hospital-based settlement. And when you're doing this stuff, you might as well just add something in, like, I did some work experience in this hospital, and I can see that this task I did emulates how working in a multidisciplinary team is. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So that's the first thing that comes to confidence. You need to just kind of make a list and choose what the best answers going forward is going to be. So when you go to the interview and they ask you, like, oh, what's the time you show good teamwork? What's the time you show good leadership? You wouldn't be sitting there all thinking of a time. You already know what you're going to say, and you'll be thinking of how to say it, or how to word it and stuff, and how to portray it, right? You're already a step ahead. You're not thinking of, okay, what's a good example? If they ask you, oh, what's your biggest weakness? You're not going to be here thinking of, oh, what's bad but not too bad. You've already got that in the locker. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So I'll probably, even in the description, I'll probably just link I'll probably just put like a list of things you should probably have an answer for before going in, like not a written answer, like a bullet point where you already know like where you're going with a question. Because the mistake a lot of people make, like when they answer a question too fast, like for example, if I start saying football, you're already talking about football, you're halfway into football, realizing, oh wait, I should have mentioned something else, but it's kind of too late to go back. You're wasting time. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, that's the first thing, confidence. Yeah, another thing I want to say, especially like for like a lot of unis, but especially for Kings, when I went in, I was learning the most obscure things, like obviously we need to know what like NICE does, what GMC does, like, but there's all these other bodies like CQC, this, that, like I was learning them like off head, like this was an exam. I was learning all these like regulations, like in medicine, I was like, it's okay to know those things, right? But that's not the core thing of your interview. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like a lot of people feel like when you go to interviews, they're gonna ask you the hardest questions to like catch you out, like the most obscure things, like, oh, you don't know about that, so you're gonna get marked down. It's actually, for Kings at least, I'm speaking from experience, it's not really like that. Like, it's weird because the questions you expect are basically the questions they're gonna ask you. So it actually is about who presents themselves as like the best person and stuff. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, like don't really worry about like, oh, I've just found this whole new article in a BMJ or something that happened in the NHS a week ago. I need to read it and know all the facts and figures, or I need to know about every like health commission in England and about like every organization and what they do with drugs and how, like, don't worry, like that's okay. If you know that stuff, that's great. Like that's like for example, me, they asked in the interview, they asked like a science question, and it led to them just asking me, do you know who's in charge of checking, I can't even remember what it was. That's what I'm saying. That's how unimportant it was. They just asked me, do I remember who's in charge of like doing something with drugs? And I was like, yeah, I know, it's like CQC. And I was like, okay, great. We moved on. Like there wasn't a conversation about it. Like they didn't really care. Like I didn't see her really ticking the paper. She was just like, yeah, man, like, he knows, kind of thing. We moved on. So like they're not really the things. They're just like the one-off things, but they're not really the things that's going to put you over the top. You know what I'm trying to say? They're not really. It's the way you present yourself, and it's as I said, when you plan what you're going to say and you have like a bullet point in mind, it's about how you present yourself. It's the most important. So don't really worry about that too much. It's not really that based on these examinable things. Yeah, like a lot of people like when they were messaging me were saying like, oh, like I was in the same position as you. I only have this interview. I've been rejected from all the other places. Like I only have King's EMDP left. Like it's next. I know some people's interviews next week, and some people message me saying theirs is in March. So a lot of people messaged me and said that, and they were like saying they're scared and I've been rejected for so many places. I feel like everything is just, you have to take it like, it's just a perspective. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So for example, me, when I applied, as I said, my credentials weren't that good. So when I got my interview, I was even just happy I got one. Do you know what I'm saying? Like for me, this was a win. I was like, yeah, I've got one. Like that's all I need. I'm going to take this chance. But maybe if like you felt like your application was good and then you got 3 rejections, you kind of give up on yourself and think, oh, like all 3 of them didn't want me. So what chance have I really got? But at the end of the day, like this is what I always told myself, and what some teachers told me is like, how many medical schools can you attend? Like you can only attend one. So how many places do you need? You only need one. So if you have one interview, just prepare well and take this tip that I gave you, because I'm telling you this, writing out all of your experiences and bullet points, that's literally the best thing you can do. In my opinion, that's the best approach you can take. If you just do that and you focus on preparing well, if you get that place, that's all you need. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, if you get 1 out of them 5 places, that's literally, to me, that's 100% success, because I've got a place in medical school and I'm going there. Obviously, when I prepared, there are a lot of things that you need to know. the things you need to know are like ethics or the laws of ethics. Like, these are just facts that you just need to go and learn, and concepts you need to go and learn. So I don't know what videos people use to like learn those things. But as I said, I've seen a lot of good videos on the internet about that, so I didn't really feel pressed to make them because I'll just be echoing what someone else is saying, which is kind of a waste of my time and your time. That's just, you know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know what videos people watch, but I'm just gonna put a link to the videos that I watched 5 years ago when I got in. You might watch better videos from that, because that was like at the beginning of like medical YouTube. There wasn't really anyone like, so maybe there have been better videos since. So if you're enjoying them, carry on watching them. But I'm gonna put some links to what I watched, because I only like to speak of what I've done myself. Do you know what I mean? And I can vouch for these videos, kind of thing. But yeah, so that's all I'd say. So let's round off again. I'll just say, make sure you watch those videos about the medical ethics and things like that. Write down all the things you've done from a work experience basis, kind of like after you've got it written down, like a bullet point. For example, me, teamwork, the NASA challenge thing I did at school, I'll now write maybe, start thinking about maybe some follow-up questions they can ask me. Like, follow-up questions could just be simply like, oh, why do you think teamwork is needed in medicine? Have you seen where good teamwork was important in medicine? Why does the multidisciplinary team need teamwork? You see what I'm saying? Just start thinking of the follow-up questions. This is something that's a bit extra, because usually a person can like, you could actually, if you're really good, you can say it on the spot. But some people, you do need, you might need some prompting. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So if you start thinking like, what are the questions that can come after this? And they might not ask you a follow-up question, but just in case they do, you're already kind of ready for. Also, the last thing is like, believe in yourself. I'd say just believe in yourself, because this is even the worst. This is what I always tell like the people I taught in the past, because I've taught like 35 people and they've all got in it. So this is what I always tell them. It's weird because everyone likes to have this mentality of, they think I'm like the worst person, like I'm gonna be like the borderline person, the last person to get in. But in reality, it's actually not like that. Yeah, like most of the candidates aren't even good. Like honestly, like most of the candidates aren't even good. And I'm just telling you from like experience, because like a lot of people, they probably want me to say this, but a lot of the people I've taught, yeah, they weren't good. Like, they weren't good. Like, when I met them, they weren't good. Like, when they went to the interview, they weren't that good. Like, but they still got in. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, so the level, like, you don't have to be the best to get in, because not everyone's the best. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, the best is literally a relative term where it just means like you're one of the top. But deeper, like, they need to take more than just the top. They need to take other people. So just stop thinking like everyone's better than you. Need to catch up with them. At the end of the day, you might actually be good in comparison. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it doesn't take, I wouldn't say it takes that much to get in. So yeah, those are the tips I'll give. If you've got any questions, ask me in the comments. But yeah, man, I feel like everyone's even lucky, because it's this year or last year was the first time they did an online format. And I'll be real, like, in other interviews, there are people that, like, obviously they go to like schools where people get into medicine, they know the questions from beforehand. Some unis don't really change the questions, so a lot of people are going in knowing the questions or like the type of questions, and they're really prepared. But this year, like, look at me, I went through this twice, and I can't even really tell you what's going to be on it, because I don't know. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So you like, even though you might think you're on your own, it still makes you stronger, because at least other people, everyone's on their own. At least other people don't have an upper hand on you. So I'd say this is probably the best opportunity that people are going to have. So yeah, man, as I said, any other questions, ask me in the comments. But thank you, I'll see you in the next one.